Good morning, good morning, good morning to all the Limitless leaders. I hope that everyone is well, that everyone has had a wonderful holiday, and that you're getting ready for 2022. 2020 and 2021 have certainly been very interesting years for all of us to navigate, and it's all about how we look at it, right? I mean, some challenging things have happened this year, but some great things have also happened. And we can only continue to look forward and anticipate great things ahead. And that is the way I choose to look at life. Even though some very, very difficult, challenging things have happened in my life this year, I continue to embrace optimism and to learn the lessons and to make the changes and to do what is necessary to make 2022 a better year. And I hope that you are walking into this new year with that same mindset. We have so much to be grateful for. So much to be grateful for. And so for this last year, last show of the year of Level Up Live for Limitless Leaders, and if you're tuning into the replay, thank you so much and welcome back for those of you that follow the show. For this last show of the year, we want to talk about purpose, vision, and career. I believe this is such an important conversation at any time of the year, but particularly at the end of a year, the end of anything, at the end of the day, we ought to have these types of reflections about how our day went and the things that we've done or want to do. We ought to do it on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis, however you choose to do that. But I think that it's very important that we reflect on our life and the direction that our life is headed. And I believe that when we talk about purpose and vision for our lives, and we marry that with our career, that we can have a very fulfilling, meaningful, and significant life. So let's jump right in. For those of you that may not know me, I am a quote junkie. So I'm always going to have some quote or the other by someone else or one that I'm going to create myself. So here's the quote that I want to start with that I wrote. When you are clear about your why, it helps you to see and create what you want. When you are clear about your why, it helps you to see and create what you want. And your why is your purpose. When we define purpose, it is the reason that we exist. It's the reason that we are on the planet. And we are on the planet for a higher calling and a greater reason than just taking up space, than working, paying bills, being frustrated, or just getting by. There's more to life than that. There is a reason that we are here. And when we get clear about that reason, there are some very important fundamental life questions that we must answer. Our why is one of them. And also, it's our who, right? Our identity. And I believe that that also comes out of our why. We have a better understanding of who we are when we understand why we are, because it gives us greater insight into the skills, the ability, the personality, because it all ties in. You were created specifically the way that you are to execute and fulfill your purpose. There is a reason why you are your quirky self. There is a reason why you have the personality that you have, that you were born in the decade, the year that you were born, in the place that you were born, to even the family that you were born in. I know some of us want to just disown our families, but there was a specific reason. When it's positive and when it's negative, there is purpose in all of it. And it is usually our life's journey to figure out the why of it. Why was I born to this particular family? What are the lessons that I've learned? How has this shaped me for my purpose? Everything leads to that road about our why. Everything. the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so when you now are clear about the reason why you exist, it now gives you greater vision. Your vision is now, this is the thing, the big picture. This is what I see myself doing. 1, 5, 10, 20, 50 years down the line, when I get to my retirement party, when I get to my deathbed, this is what I want to say, that I have charted this course and this is the way, the path that my life has gone on. And these are the things that I want at the end of the day to say that I have achieved. These are the people that I want around me. These are the achievements that I would want to have made, the impact that I would have wanted to have made on this planet. And then you may be asking, well, what is the connection between purpose, vision, and career? Well, there's a great connection. And if you can connect the three, you will see my quote at the end. I'll tell you what that is. But when you can connect and align your career with your purpose and your vision, you are living a blessed life, because you are now living that fulfilling life, that you're making an impact wherever you go. It's more than now just having a job. It's more than just, how can I make the money, secure the bag? How can I have all of these things that will benefit my life and my family's life, which is important, but it transcends that. How can I make a difference? So it doesn't matter what your career is in, if it's in technology, if it's in finance, if it's in education, if it's in service, if it's in consultancy, whatever, agriculture, whatever it may be, a creative, in the arts, craft, whatever that may be, you want it to align with your higher calling. You want it to align with the reason why you exist. It will make your career that much more powerful. So the next question you may be asking is, how do I find my why? You may say, well, Simone, I've been trying to figure out, I can't really get to the bottom of why I exist, and what I am supposed to be doing. What is this higher calling that you're talking about? What is this mission? So there are three simple questions, and I can attribute these questions to some training that I would have had with Lori Beth Jones, to certify me as a facilitator of her program, particularly. But this is, I would say, a modification of what she talks about in her book, The Path. Three very simple questions, but ones to reflect on. And as we are coming to the end of the year, it is so important that we reflect in this way. So the first question to figuring out what your why is, what's your purpose, is, what's the contribution that I want to make? What is the contribution that I want to make to the planet? So for some people, they are passionate about people, or they are passionate about causes. So some people are passionate about making life better for humanity in whatever way, shape, or form. Some people are passionate about people themselves. What difference do I want to make in people's lives? And so when you think about the contribution that you want to make, for me, my contribution is that I want people to live purposeful lives that are radically limitless. So I want to make sure that people tap in to this thing called purpose, because I believe that it is the core of our existence. And when we figure out what our why is, we live differently. We enjoy life differently. We pursue our dreams. We are helping others. So that's me. And I am passionate about personal transformation, corporate transformation, national transformation. And we do that through people. So that's the contribution that I want to make. So you think about that for yourself. What is the contribution that you want to make? What is that core thing? When people think about you, what do they think about? right? For some people, they'll say when they think about me, they think about motivation, they think about inspiration, they think about leadership, they think about training, right? So all of those things are consistent because now remember, when you find your why and you get clear about your why, it now shifts everything that you do, your messaging and positioning in the market, and people will see you according to your purpose. So, what's the contribution that I want to make? I realized that I was not being as clear as I needed to be in my messaging because while people would enjoy my content and they would say, I love your content, when they think about, well, what do you really do? I realized that there was a disconnect, right? So, your purpose will help you also to clarify your messaging. The second thing that you want to think about is how do I want to make that contribution? So when you think about making your contribution, it's now thinking about your gifts, your talents, and the activities that bring you the most joy, that give you the passion that you need to execute this contribution that you want to make. Here is where I had struggled as well for many years of my life, because a lot of times I want to dispel the myth that your purpose is your gifts and your talents. That's not true. Your gifts and your talents are clues, they are vehicles, they are tools that you use to execute your purpose, but they are not your purpose. And I know that that's a very bold statement to make. But let me explain why I'm saying that. Because for many, many years in my life, I thought that everything centered around my gifts. So whether that was speaking, whether that was singing, whether that was writing, training, all of the things that I was passionate about. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out, well, should I just be focusing on one or the other? Is my life about singing? Is my life about speaking? Is my life about writing? But I realized, listen, when you are limitless, it means then that the possibilities are endless and you don't have to choose. I hope you get that. When you are limitless, you don't have to choose. It's about all of it. It's not either or, it's and. Hey, I love it. I love it. That's what being limitless is all about. So, what I began to embrace is that all of my gifts make up who I am. And I use all of them, my gifts, my talents, my passions, the activities that I love, to execute this mandate of my life, which is now leadership development and ensuring that we transform our global environments through effective, limitless leadership. So I use the writing, the speaking, the training, the consulting, and even the singing. I have begun to incorporate those things. So people have asked me to sing and speak at a conference. And so I don't have to choose anymore. I don't have to decide whether or not I should be a singer or what. I could do it all, right? That's what our superpower is all about. So we determine now what's the activities that we want to do. So in my purpose statement, my activities is to teach, model, and inspire. It's my personal mission to teach, model, and inspire purposeful living to people who want to be radically limitless. So I want you to see how I'm putting it all together, right? So when I talk about purposeful living, that's the contribution that I want to make. I want to make sure that people live purposefully. And how do I want to make that contribution? To teach, to model, and to inspire. Those are the activities. So in teaching, I also train, I can also speak, right? So when I speak, I'm not just, and I don't like when people call me a motivational speaker. I'm not. And no offense to motivational speakers. It all has its place. I prefer to be branded as a transformational speaker because I like to incorporate the coaching principles because I want to inspire change. I don't want you to just feel good. I want to challenge you to do something different based on what I'm speaking about. So to teach, to model. So to model means then that I want to be able to demonstrate the message. I want to be the message. I want to show people how to live purposefully. So it's a personal challenge for me that I have to be living on course as well if I'm going to demonstrate to others how to live purposefully. So that's the other activity. And then the other is to inspire, because I want people to be inspired to live purposefully, to understand that there's more to life, to understand that you can be more and do more and have more, and that you don't have to be limited in your life. And the third thing that you want to reflect on is, who do I want to serve? This is important. We all have a tribe. We all have a group of people whose ears are tuned to your voice, whose eyes are tuned in to your content. You're going to have some people who are always going to like what you post. You're going to have some people who want to engage with you. You're going to have people who want to know, well, what's the next step? What can I purchase from you? Are you having a class? Are you selling a book? Are you offering something? I want to go the long line with you of where you're headed. I want to go too, because I'm getting something from you. That's the people that are called to you. And that's why it doesn't make sense for us to live in competition. We should not live in competition. Purpose and vision causes us to run in our own lanes. It eliminates competition and jealousy. Why? Because you are running your own race and you are serving the group of people that are called to you for a season. Now, you have some people who are called to you for a lifetime, and those are your loyal fans and clients, and they're going to stick with you no matter what for the long haul, and we all want those people. But you're going to have some people who are going to be with you for a season, and we have to embrace that as well, that for that particular season, they're going to get from you what they need from you, and then they're going to move on because of their own evolution and development. They may need something else. And it doesn't mean that you are less than, or your value is diminished. It means that your purpose in their life has been served. Oh boy, I wish that more leaders would get this and would be more comfortable with releasing the people that they have invested in. Lord have mercy. I don't want to preach today, but if they would get more comfortable in understanding that my investment in this person is done, and it is time for them to move on and transition because of the next phase of their life that may require a different level of training, a different level of mentorship, a different level of investment, and a different type of investment and training and development and mentorship. So who do I want to serve? This is the group of people. So for me, I want to serve new and emerging leaders who have been leading for 1 to 5 years, particularly, and they've recognized that they may have hit a wall. They're excited about leadership. They want to make a difference, but they realize that there's some things that are maybe holding them back. There's some things that maybe themselves are holding themselves back, right? In the way that they think about leadership and the way that they think about themselves, maybe some self-doubt and maybe some limiting beliefs and some self-sabotaging behaviors that's not causing them to be as visible as they need to be. They're causing them to not be as vocal as they need to be. And so I want to help them to refine and define their leadership brand and to amplify that leadership brand in the marketplace so that they could be visible, they can be valued, and they can be heard. That's the people that I want to serve. And so I want to make sure that they are developing themselves and growing in that area so that we can make a difference in our organizations. So you have to think about what you want to contribute, how you want to contribute, and who you want to serve. Absolutely right. Your purpose is inspiring their foundation. Absolutely right. And so for every stage and for every level, you watch it in your own life. There are people that you would tune into and it would be like food for you. You would listen to messages on YouTube, you would follow them, go to their conferences. I was like that. There were people that I would follow. And I would openly share. One person that I truly admire in our local community in the Bahamas is Dr. Deborah Bartlett. And I would always share. I admired her work as a communicator, as a journalist. And then when she transitioned into hosting conferences for leaders, I wasn't there yet. I was a teacher. Not to say that as a teacher, you're not a leader, but I'm saying I wasn't a CEO. But she hosted this conference called the CEO Network. And she spoke to my future with that conference. I hope you're hearing me today. She spoke to my future in that conference. I wanted to learn about leadership. I wanted to learn about networking. I wanted to learn about the greater and the more. And so when she hosted those conferences, I invested for myself, by myself, to attend those conferences. For about 7 years, I went to those conferences. And guess what? At a few of those conferences, Lori Beth Jones, the person that I mentioned to you, that teaches on how to write mission statements and how to discover your own, was a speaker at that conference. And she talked about her session on helping, and that resonated with me. And I went with a friend. I took a friend with me, and I said, "Let's go to this training." And for both of us, it was like something ignited in us, something changed in us, and we are still on that path today. We are still 20 years later living out the mission statements that we wrote 20 years ago in San Diego, California. But I didn't get exposed to that woman until I went to Debbie Bartlett's conference. Now, Debbie Bartlett is not hosting her conferences. And so I have less of an opportunity to follow her per se. But she's someone that I still greatly admire. And that I would, if she started to do them again, I probably would. But that season of my life is done. And I moved on to other people and other content based on where I was in my life and where I am now. So there are people that you're going to serve, and it's going to be in that same way. It's going to be seasonal, and then you're going to have some people that follow you for a lifetime. So how do we put it all together? And I'm actually closing on this point. It's important for you to chart your course in the direction of alignment. If you're struggling here on the second to the last day of 2021, you're struggling about your direction, you're struggling about where you're headed, you're struggling about your career, you're struggling about what you're doing, and your career is more than your job. Some people are struggling with your job and you're wondering, is this the right place for me to execute? Some people are wondering, is it time for me to transition to another place to contribute? Should I transition into entrepreneurship? You may be having all of these questions. And so you want to connect your purpose, your vision with your career. If your career, this is the quote that I was mentioning earlier, if your career helps you fulfill your purpose, you're blessed. You don't want your career to really be your side hustle and your purpose is your thing. but then you're just doing this thing to make money. Some of us do it and it works because we fund our dreams. But imagine how meaningful and satisfying it could be when you can tap into the activities in your career that are aligned with your purpose and the vision, the big picture of what you want to achieve. It's possible. It's possible. So I want you to, as your coaching challenge this week, to reflect on the direction that your life and your career are headed. Are you in alignment with your purpose? And if you're not, what are some things that you can do to greater align your life, your purpose, your career, the vision that you have for your life? And I'm not telling you now to go and press print on that resignation letter. That is not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is how do you now plan for shifting your life and your career to align with your purpose. Maybe you need to go back and actually create a purpose statement using that 3-step model that I showed you. What do you want to contribute? How do you want to contribute? And who do you want to serve? So if I share again my full statement, my purpose statement is to teach, model, and inspire purposeful living to people who want to be radically limitless. That's it. That's the people that I want to serve. People who want to be radically limitless, people who want to live in purpose, people who want to make a difference, people who don't want to be bound by limitations of their own making or societies. So that's what you want to think about. And I have to think about this at the end of this year. How am I aligned? And what are the activities, the goals, the strategies that I need to implement for 2022 and beyond that will ensure that my life is in alignment with my calling and my reason for existence? Thank you so much for tuning in with me today on Level Up Leadership. I just am so amazed by what God is doing in all of us and in our lives. And I believe that 2022 will be a year where we truly come into our own. We truly come into understanding ourselves and making the bold moves that we need to make to live our best lives. And I'm not saying that to be a cliche. I am saying that because I believe, like me, that you are tired of just existing in this world. If you're listening to me, you're watching this replay, I know that you share that feeling that there has to be more to contribute, that you want to be stretched, you want to be challenged, you want to give of your best to your environment, and that you want to see change. And how you do that, it will be determined on what your purpose is and the vision that you create, that you commit to writing, and that you commit to fulfilling. Don't worry that it scares you. Don't worry that it's bigger than you are. That's how it's supposed to be. Just take it step by step. Get the support that you need. Get the advice that you need. Find the information that you need. But don't let 2022 meet you in the same place that you are today. Don't let it meet you stagnant. Take action, even if it's very small steps, like reflecting, like journaling. Trust me, they are all actions that will take you further. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who will challenge you and also support you, who will encourage you and inspire you. Find a mentor or two. Get a coach. Get in a mastermind group of people who are going to keep you lifted and encouraged Even when life is getting hard and you feel like you're not getting anywhere and your efforts aren't pushing you in the direction that you want to go. And trust me, every action that you take, no matter how long it looks like it's taking, is taking you toward where you need to go. Don't give up. Don't quit. It's not an option. Don't let it be an option, but just continue to move forward at your own pace, in your own race. Hello, somebody. I can make that a quote. Move forward at your own pace, in your own race. That's right, Tatiana, boy, you're dropping bombs today. You are dropping bombs today. Don't allow the quick elevation of others to cause you to rush your process. They may not be chasing purpose. They may be chasing money. Boy, that's the thing. Take your time, but use it wisely. And you know what? You're right about that. And overnight success is only that people have been discovered overnight. People don't always talk about the process, the pain, the failures, the mistakes, the sleepless nights, the crying, the losses. People don't always talk about that, but that is all a part of the process that gets you to elevation, that gets you to success, that gets you to the peak of the mountain. But you can't rush that process. Oh boy, I felt like just like in The Color Purple, all my life, I feel like I have been pushing and investing and figuring out and all of that. And trust me, it can be discouraging. But sometimes you are just that close. Sometimes it is that lesson. Sometimes it's that thing that you think you're ready for, but you're not quite ready for it yet. And that's why the lessons keep coming. That's why the challenge keeps coming. It's coming to test you. It's coming to push you so that you learn that lesson and that you keep moving forward and growing into this purpose that you are called to. So very quickly, I want to share with you what is coming up for me. My offering to you is the Limitless Leaders Masterclass. I am so excited about this launch. And so if you want to join the wait list, if you want to get information, if you want to just see what it's all about when this launch is ready and this drops, join the wait list. You see the website running across the screen, www.leadwithsimone.com. Listen, this class is going to be good. We're going to be digging into 3 main areas to help you become leadership. Great, effective, limitless leaders. We are going to be talking about beliefs, behaviors, and brand. 3 B's there: beliefs, behaviors, and brand. Your leadership brand, that you can amplify this brand in the market and make a difference. So if you are interested in being a part of this course, please join the wait list, www.leadwithsimone.com, and that will get you on the wait list. I'm excited. In January, I will be releasing also my Purpose Push Planner. If any of you have followed me during the pandemic, I did a series of webinars, weekly webinars called Purpose Push. And so there is a devotional planner that is coming out. And hey, nothing before time. You can't rush the process. It was done since 2020. But guess what? It's not being released until 2022. Listen, you can't rush the process. You got to follow the timing because the timing is perfect. That is what Kairos is. It is a set time. There are some things, some visions that I have had for many, many years that have taken years to actually manifest or to become reality. So don't be discouraged. Don't stop working. Don't stop writing. Don't stop planning. Don't stop taking action. Just embrace it all and let's move forward into 2022 better, purposeful, and limitless. Blessings to all of you and have a wonderful New Year's holiday. Thank you so much again for tuning in.